YouTube viewers, it's Cynthia Michael from Scree Reviews, bringing you a new podcast for my segment called The Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to breathe so hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language if you're under 18. So anyway, with that and everything else out the way, let's get into the latest episode of Lupinranger versus Patranger. Now, the latest episode started off. We see Ranger X early in the late in the morning at the global police headquarters, using the Patranger's computer. That was good. Why Ranger X is doing that? We see the Lupinrangers. Battling a gang with monsters. So basically, they managed to restrain this gang with monster named Taka, and managed to open his body safe. Now, so basically, when they found that Taka's body safe was empty, they was like, wait a minute, where's the listing item that you had? So basically, where's the listing item that's supposed to be in your safe? So basically, Taka's spraying to the path. So basically, Taka is spraying to the listing item that someone took it for him. So he said that someone wanted to see my listed item, so basically I showed him my listed item, and he just took it. So basically, they thought that. So basically, the Lupinranger thought that was kind of thought he was lying, because thought he was lying. But Taka was like, it's true. Somebody took my listed item when I showed it to him. So basically. So basically, before they even got a description of the someone who took Taka's listed item for his body safe, the Patranger showed up and started shooting. So basically, during and that's when the Lupinranger had a choice but to fight the Patranger. So basically, Taka took that opportunity to run away, and so basically, after a 2-second fight, between the Patrangers and Lupinrangers, the Lupinrangers decide to retreat for now, and let's to retreat and go back to their restaurant headquarters, the Bistro restaurant. So anyway, so basically, so basically, the Patrangers were kind of frustrated that the gang with monster and the Lupinrangers got away until they spotted a dude that no Pata Red and Pata Pink. Turns out his name's Sada. So basically, turns out Sada was a part of the team before Pata Green joined. So basically, it turned out that Sada was really a part of the team that was part of the team of Pata Red and Pata Pink. So basically he's been working at the first global police office ever since he left the Japanese branch. So anyway, Patrick Green went to tell It turns out Pat agreeing with the tell Ranger X and Jen Carter and Commissioner Hilltop that that Sato is back. So basically from the French Global Police Headquarters. So basically Pat Green gave some more backstory about Sato. Turns out that Sada, Pat the Red, and Pat the Pink both went to the academy together and graduated together and came teenage. So basically, back in the day, they were back in the day they were fighting gangless monsters without any ranger powers and whatnot. So basically, so Pat the Green is don't you know Sada since he was since he's working at the Global French Police Headquarters, and Ranger X is like, oh, I never met him. So basically, even though we're talking about that, even though that Sada and Ranger X are working at the French Global Police Headquarters, turns out they never met each other before. So it seemed like there was different offices in different divisions of the French global police headquarters and whatnot. So anyway, while that was going on, Sada was telling Pat the Pink and Pat the Red that he said I'm on the special assignment to find the spy who's been leaking intel, secret intel to from your branch to the gangrene. So basically, Pat the Pink and Pat the Red is was kind of shocked that there's a spy leaking secret intel information to the gangrene and whatnot, blah blah blah. So anyway, basically started Pat the Pink and Pat the Red went back to the headquarters, and finally introduced Sada to Ranger X. So basically, Sada did not want to shake Ranger X's hand and whatnot. So basically, so basically it's fun. So basically, Ranger X was being nice and all, even it's finding nice to meet you and all, but Sada is he was saying here. So anyway, after Sada met Ranger X, Sada pulled Pat the Red to the side and told him that I believe that Ranger X is Ranger X is the spy. So basically, so Sada believes that that Ranger X is the gangrene spy. So basically, Pat the Red didn't want to believe it, but didn't want to believe it. But at the same time, he might have a point. So basically, Sada said that So basically, I expect Ranger X is the spy. So basically, I have to prove it first, I have to prove that he's a spy. So basically, so right now, I don't trust him. So basically, you guys should be careful about Ranger X. So anyway, meanwhile, later that night, the gangrene monster Tapa went back to his little hideout, and he found a gift. He found a gift at his hideout. So basically, it turns out it was a note from Ranger. It turns out it was a note. It turns out it was a note from Ranger X that had Ranger X's picture in it. Turns out inside the package where the note was attached to was a gangrene liquid item inside. So basically, like, like, oh. So basically, Tucker was kind of happy that he got a new he got a new liquor item for him to use in his body shape, and also he's kind of gave food to Ranger X, who gave it to him, even though we don't know it was Ranger X that really gave Tucker the liquor item with the note inside and blah blah blah. So anyway. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the main Gangwitch hideout, Goss was telling the boss about so basically Goss was telling the boss about a secret that she found out about Ranger X. So basically, the boss was kind of was he like was in a happy mood at the Goss tell him the secret about Ranger X. So it turns out so basically the boss said we can use this secret against Ranger X to turn the rest of the Patrangers and the Lupinrangers against Ranger X. So anyway, the next day, Taco was about to was on top of the rooftop in his human form, and he was about to attack the city. And out of nowhere, the Lupinrangers show up. So basically, once again, the Lupinrangers managed to capture Taka, and was about to ask more questions on the person who took his liquor item for him. And that's when Taka activated his new liquor item in his body state to break free from the Lupinrangers. So basically, the Lupinrangers wait a minute, where you got that liquor item where you got that liquor item? Where you got that new liquor item from inside your body shape? So basically, Taka sold the Lupinrangers his new liquor item and whatnot, and tell him that your friend Ranger X gave me, to live. I found this at my hideout yesterday. It had a note from your Ranger X. So basically, Ranger X gave me this item. So basically, the Lupinrangers was in shock that Ranger X gave Taka that liquor item. So basically, Taka took that opportunity to escape from the Lupinrangers. Meanwhile, somewhere we see Ranger X walking around, and that's when he got a phone call. So basically, whoever who was calling him wanted to meet somewhere. So basically, Ranger X ended his phone call saying that I'll meet you there, and he headed towards the place to where he's supposed to meet someone at and whatnot. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the Gold Police headquarters, Sadova found some evidence that someone was leaking intel, was using the Patranger, using the Patrangers' computers to leak intel or leak secret intel about the Gangwitch. So basically, someone who had access, and that's when Giancarlo, the helper was saying that, that Ranger X has been using the computer a lot, last time. I caught Ranger X using I think I caught Ranger X using the computer one time. So basically, that makes sense. So basically, Father had found proof that Ranger X was leaking intel about the Gangwitch gang and whatnot, secret intel about the Gangwitch gang. So anyway, meanwhile, Ranger X had served to talk to the Gangwitch monsters Taka's hideout, and Ranger X had his Alright, so Ranger X has showed up to the Genghis Monster's Taka's hideout. So basically Taka recognized Ranger X from his picture from the note. So basically Taka was thanking Ranger X for the lifted item, for the new lifted item and whatnot, and that's when the Patranger and Sada showed up, and that put the nerve to the coffin for Ranger X. So basically it's like, wait a minute, so basically, while Taka, the Genghis Monster, was taking Ranger X for the new lifted item, that's when the Patranger and Sada showed up. So basically, so basically, the Patrangers and Sada was kind of additionally that Ranger X is the spy for the Genghis, that Ranger X is the spy for the Genghis gang. So basically, Ranger X didn't even say anything. He started to shoot at the Patrangers. He didn't even deny that he didn't say anything about giving, Taka that lifted item. He just started shooting at Sada and the Patranger. So basically, Sada started to chase after Ranger X. So basically, Sada and the Patranger started to chase after Ranger X, and Taka, the Genghis Monster, started to run away. So basically, and that's when the Lifted Rangers showed up and stopped Taka, and stole his new lifted item from his body set. And once again, the Lifted Rangers saying that was asking him, how did you get this lift down? So basically, like I said, your fellow Ranger X gave me this lifted item. So basically, he showed up. He showed up at my hideout just a few minutes ago. I was thinking he showed up at my hideout a few minutes ago, and I was thinking for the new lifted item y'all just stole from my body set just now. So basically, like once again, so basically, the lifted Rangers the lifted Rangers were figured that Taka was lying, and God said that God said he's not lying. So basically, God showed out of nowhere and he's telling him that Taka is not lying. Turns out that friend Ranger X has probably been lying. Been lying to you this whole time. So basically, the Lifted Rangers, what the hell are you talking about, Goss? And Goss just says that when I used my binocular lifted item to scare Ranger X, I found out that Ranger X is not human. So basically, Goss reveals that the secret that she found out about Ranger X. Turned out when she used her lifted item, her binocular lifted items on Ranger X, she found that Ranger X is not human. So basically, and she told the Lifted Rangers, and the Lifted Rangers were in disbelief and let Taka almost escape. But lucky for Patrick Tank and Patrick Green stopped Taka, used the power of the trigger machine the trigger machine Vicazord and the trigger machine Cranger to destroy Taka and destroy Taka. So basically, before God used her lift out to make Taka grow, that think about it. So basically, you guys didn't know that Ranger X is human, so basically, he could have been lying to you, and so basically, he lied about being human, so basically, he could also be lying about, he probably been lying to you guys since day one. So anyway, that's when God used her lift out to make Taka grow, monster size, and that's when the good striker showed up, and so basically, the Lifted Rangers decide to take care of Taka real quick with the power of the Dixie Stark and Megazord and the power of the Little Magnum. So basically, like, and quickly defeated Taka with the power of the Dixie Strike the Megazord and the power of the Licton Magnum. So basically, the good Striker is what's wondering what the hell is going on with you guys. So basically, the Lupinranger tells the good Striker that Winter X is not human. So basically, that's when the good Striker said, "Oh, you guys didn't know that Winter X wasn't human." So basically, it turns out the good structure also know that Winter X was not human this whole time. So basically, the Lupinranger was in shock. So basically, it turns out that the good sucker know that Winter X wasn't human this whole time, and he thought that the Lupinranger know that, but it turns out they didn't. So basically, it was kind of shocking. So anyway, Winter X was on the run to Sarah, and that's when Patranger showed up in the car and stopped Winter X. So basically, it's like Winter X was like, Winter X and Patranger had to stare down, like, and Patranger was like, was very pissed off that you betray us to the gang race and whatnot. But so basically, that's the Sarah kind of nowhere started to shoot at Winter X, and Winter X just went off without Patranger trying to stop Winter X. So basically, the episode ended with Winter X running from Sada and Patranger, yelling in anger, finding out that Winter X is the traitor, and start to rain and whatnot. So basically, this was a pretty good episode. So basically, we found out that Winter X is not a human, and this whole time that turns out that the Berserker know that Winter X was also not a human. So basically, this was a very good episode. So basically, I can't wait to. So basically, next week's episode, we will finally get more details about Winter X's how not him being human. We'll finally get the conclusion to this episode in next week's episode. So anyway, this episode was not bad. So anyway, like always, it's Cynthia Michael signing off. 1.